Good afternoon, friends. Steve Ben-Nun here with Israeli News Live. And before I get into this broadcast this evening about what are the Joint Chiefs up to, which we're going to be discussing why suddenly they've all contracted or tested positive for COVID-19. I don't know if we should even speak about this on this channel, but I just want to kind of get into it a little bit here in just a moment. But I do want to thank the many of you that have been praying for me over my sister. And she did go home to be with the Lord just a little after midnight last night. So it's been a very difficult time. And we're very, well, I don't want to get into all that, but we're very close in age. It was very unexpected. We still don't know exactly what happened or anything. But I do appreciate tremendously your prayers for her and your prayers for our family, and also her daughter, her son, and her husband, and of course my dad as well. My dad took it very hard. But anyway, let me get right into the broadcast here, because we do have some very serious things going on, and we will be back up and running full capacity here. I know Yana's working on some things in the background. I should be interviewing Deborah Tavares myself tomorrow evening. I've only slept like 2 hours in the last 48, so I'm still not fully together yet. But our good friend from FEMA, he sent me a message asking me, did I notice that all the Joint Chiefs of Staff have tested positive for COVID? And I did not catch that myself, of course, circumstances, as you guys know. But one thing that I did have to tell you guys is last night I got a call from my doctor again, and it was over the president, what he's going through, what the alleged things are that he's going through. And he told me straight up, he said, Steve, he said, now they're talking about his whole administration, practically everyone has tested positive for COVID. And in his opinion, I mean, this is a medical doctor, as he said to me, this is not possible. This is not the way a virus works. And he said, it's a virus. He said, okay. He said, for one, he said, when a person is positive with a virus, if you contract a virus, he said, it takes time for that to incubate and to go to the next person. He said, so like, for example, he said, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe, he said, 2 or 3 of the people in the administration tested positive. He said, but all of them, he said, come on. He said, give me a break. He said, something doesn't smell right. And as my wife always said, the European expression is, the fish smells from the head, right? And I certainly understand where he's going with this. And then, of course, now I get from our FEMA source there that the Joint Chiefs of Staff, that all them guys are testing positive. And you have to realize something is not normal. And and I'm sitting there with over an hour with my doctor telling me these things last night, and he said, Steve, he said, it doesn't make any sense. He said, regardless of what people's opinions are on the coronavirus, he said, it's still a virus. And he said, a virus has a certain way that a virus acts. And he even challenged the notion of the president and what they claimed about him. He said, because he said, look, coronavirus is supposed to be a respiratory type of illness. And he said, and there he goes, and he goes up the White House steps like no big deal. He said if he had coronavirus, he wouldn't have ran up those steps like that with no big deal. He'd be gasping for air. He said there's something deeper going on. Now that's what I want to just kind of think about with you guys here tonight. it does seem a bit odd. And I'm not a medical professional, so I can't comment myself on this. But I sit there and I look at this and I think to myself, something is up. We're only, 29, 28 days away from the election. I've been hearing rumors of war. I've heard rumors of war with China. I've been trying to find out if there's any truth to this. And I don't know the answer to that as of yet. But there's a lot of things going on, friends, and I'm just very concerned. And I don't know if you guys are paying attention as well. I mean, of course, I've got family members that live along the Gulf Coast there, and talking with them, especially in light of the situation that we just have gone through in our family, I'm being told that there's yet another hurricane. And I saw that, I mentioned that in a little report we did a couple of nights ago, but I thought it was actually going to go hit Mexico. It looked like it was actually originally projected to go there. But now I'm being told, in fact, our good friend Johnny, who's shared a lot of things with us, said that the storm turned and is going towards the panhandle of Florida again. I think this will actually break a record for the most storms ever in the Gulf of Mexico. And I said all these things back to you in March. In fact, I got one particular family member, they were eating dinner the other night, and they said, she said to her husband, she said, Steve has told us this, and everything he's talked about on this weather changes and stuff is all happening. Now, granted, as my wife points out, this could be weather manipulations. I think is a guy named John who was on John Moore's program, a guy that calls in from Tennessee, and I've got to call John. So John, if you're listening, I am going to get with you before too long, because there's some things you pointed out that really I wanted to have you on our program to speak about. But yeah, as he was making the comment when he was on John Moore's show, The Liberty Man, how that there was just no way possible that this could not be a staged event for the California wildfires or a weather weapon event, because the fires didn't cross into Canada. They weren't going into Mexico. These fires only know to happen in America. And I would have to even say with the hurricane season, it seems to be a little bit odd as well. Yes, there were some pretty big typhoons that hit towards South Korea, places like that, but nowhere like the U.S. We're getting the really weird weather patterns and everything. So that makes me really believe, like my wife does, that these may be more weather manipulated weather patterns that are going on. But nonetheless, this information was shared with me back in March. We've had 2 derecho storms. We are getting these record number of hurricanes. I was told that earthquakes, volcanoes, yes, of course, I know many people you'd say asteroids as well. And I'm hearing more and more and more of these little ones that are coming in. I don't know what's going to happen though. Right? I have no idea. But then we have this whole issue with the president, his staff, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff all suddenly supposedly testing positive for the virus. It just seems like something is up. And I think we need to be vigilant. All right? So we do need to be vigilant, and we need to be prayed up ourselves and be ready, because we just don't know what's coming. I'm Steve Benoon. I trust that you've been blessed by this evening's message, and thank you for watching. Good evening.